took me over 3 years, hundreds of job applications, gallons of coffee, and a whole lot of stress to land my first job as a data analyst in a big tech company. Knowing what I know now, I think I could cut that time and effort in half. Here's how I do it. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Jack and I'm a remote data analyst, and on this channel we talk about productivity, learning, and quite a few other things. Learning and getting a job in data analytics is hard, but it's way more difficult when you don't have a clear learning path. It took me enrolling in and dropping out of college, going to a year-long intensive coding bootcamp, and taking tons of online courses to realize I could have done this much faster. I'm going to talk about what I would learn first, where I would learn it, and how you can land your first job as a data analyst. Data lives in a database, so learn to speak database. Almost all data analyst jobs require you getting data out of a SQL database, so that's the first thing you should learn. The first thing I would learn is how to create, query, and manipulate data inside of a SQL database. Then you can move on to learning more advanced things like schema designs, joins, and complex aggregations. Python. Whether you need a quick and dirty exploration or a fine-tuned data visualization, Python has your back at every step of the analysis. You should start with learning the fundamentals of Python and then transition to more data analytic and visual libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. Statistics. A strong probability and statistics foundation is an essential tool for every data analyst's arsenal. Statistical knowledge will help you guide your analysis, help you understand the data that you're working with better, and let you know if your analysis is valid. The next tool I would learn is Tableau, Mode, Power BI, or some other popular business intelligence tool. Creating informative dashboards and reports from data inside a SQL database is one of the most necessary jobs of a data analyst today. Next, I'm going to talk about where and how I would learn all of these skills. For learning SQL, I would start with Mode.com's SQL tutorials. On top of being completely free, these courses come jam-packed with exercises that will not only teach you, but let you apply knowledge to learning SQL from the beginner all the way to the advanced level. And as a bonus course, you could take the Database Management Essentials class offered by Coursera and CU Boulder. To start learning Python, I would head over to Coursera and start the Data Analytics with Python class that's partnered through IBM. And at the same time, I'd be learning Python fundamentals through DataCamp's intro and intermediate Python courses. After completing those courses, I would try to sharpen my data visualization skills by taking DataCamp's Matplotlib and Seaborn visualization classes. For statistic fundamentals, I would again head over to Coursera and enroll in the Introduction to Statistics class offered by Stanford. Then I'd do some self-studying and cement my knowledge of a bunch of popular statistical terms that are used in data analytics quite often. I'll put a list of things that you should study on the screen and in the description, but you should definitely understand hypothesis testing, confidence intervals, sampling, and data distributions. After knocking out all those courses and absorbing all of the knowledge, it's time to apply it on your very first data analyst project. Gather your own sample data, put it inside a SQL database, analyze it with Python, and then using Tableau or Power BI, create a visualization to explain your findings of your analysis. You absolutely do not need a 4-year computer science degree from a university to become a data analyst. You can learn these skills in less than 4 years and spend way less money on education. I graduated from the data science program at Lambda School, a year-long intensive coding bootcamp, and I directly credit them as one of the largest factors for me finding a good job in tech. And I didn't pay a single penny until I'd landed my job. While you don't need college or a coding bootcamp to land a job and learn data analytics, it's going to require a lot of self-studying if you want to take the solo route. But I still think the courses I mentioned earlier are more than enough to get you where you need. Now I'm going to talk about what you need to do to actually land that sweet data analyst job at a big tech company. One of the most important but underrated tips I have seen in applying to jobs in tech is to build a network. Seek out high-performance students who are also interested in data analytics and start a mastermind group. Not only will this help keep you accountable, but you can also share cool opportunities and even job postings with other fellow data analysts. Tell your story. Document your entire journey of learning to code and becoming a data analyst on LinkedIn and other social medias. This is such an underrated tip, and I've seen people who just start their careers get a job just because they have a compelling personal story. Lastly, you should create a personal website to not only showcase your story, but all of the projects you made while learning data analytics. This is also a way to share your resume in a much more visually appealing way. LinkedIn is magic for finding jobs in tech. Fill out every section of of your profile and start connecting with people in your target industry. LinkedIn also gets much better over time at suggesting job postings that you're actually interested in, so keep browsing the job posting page. Start applying to jobs on day one. This will help you learn the job posting lingo and find out what skills you actually need to be working on. It can also give you real-time feedback on if your resume is strong enough for the positions that you want. There's a difference between applying to positions and actually getting interviews. As a rule of thumb, you should be iterating on your resume every 20 applications. Always be striving to make it better, more readable, have better power words, or more quantitative measurements. Reach out to hiring managers and team members for every job you apply to. You can easily do this by searching the company on LinkedIn, navigating to their employees, and searching for people in the same team. LinkedIn also has a premium feature that allows you to see who posted the job. This has gotten me multiple conversations with hiring managers before they even knew I applied to the position. Make sure you don't get automatically rejected by ATS, the applicant tracking system, by using websites like jobscan.co to make sure your resume matches what the job posting is looking for. And again, there is another difference between getting interviews and actually passing them, so it's time to practice. You're likely going to be tested on your SQL knowledge at some point during the interview. You can practice SQL challenges from very basic to very advanced using SQLZoo.net. And I know nobody likes them, but live coding interviews are still a thing. These types of interviews trip up lots of candidates, and a way you can prepare for them is with a website called Pram. They offer a service where you can video chat and do a live coding interview with another engineer that's practicing for an interview. You take turns quizzing each other and seeing what it would be like in an actual live coding situation. If you're someone that gets nervous during tests, or just know coding in front of another person is gonna make you a little nervous, definitely use this site to prepare. Another common interview in data analytics is a take-home project. This is simply you getting a data set and being told to analyze the data. Kaggle.com is a great place to learn if you want practice with random data sets and trying to create insights from them. Finally, I'd practice explaining my thought process by doing coding problems on a whiteboard or piece of paper and trying to give reasoning for everything that I'm doing. And finally, learn about the company that you're interviewing with. This seems obvious, but a lot of people don't spend the time to see what metrics these companies care about. Why do they use data, and how can you help them? That is the path I would take to become a data analyst, knowing everything I do now after completing this process myself. Feel free to join in the conversation on my Twitter if you want to talk about tech, careers, or just have a question for me. And if you liked this video, you might like this one about the workflow that I use to learn all of these things myself. Hope this helped, and I will see you next time.